Hi, hello, welcome, shalom, greetings. Welcome to Atop My Mountain, Atop Derek's Mountain, where we play games and do geek shit and stuff. And we have a very, very special thing happening today for the first time ever. This is our 5th episode, gentlemen. Our 5th episode of NPCS All Podcast. I am joined by two great friends. I'm joined by Mr. Rob and Mr. Luke. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about a topic that I have been passionate about my entirety of my life. I have enjoyed its content and consumed it literally since I was a young lad all the way to full adulthood with no shame. Today's topic is we're talking about cartoons in all varieties of the sense. We're just here to go ahead and pick apart, reminisce, maybe talk about some nostalgia, talk about the things we like, talk about things that we don't like, and overall discuss the matter at hand. My first question is, what was like your top 3 favorite cartoons that was your go-to on like your average Saturday morning cartoon spree?
The Pokemon series with
Classic.
the theme song, and going back because it's on Netflix. I think it's only season 1 or season 2. But going back and watching like clips of it or episodes of it, just like teleports me back. The music, hearing the voice actors. Remembering certain episodes, like everything's just so nostalgic. My number 2, I would say, is Sonic X. I've said on some of the other podcasts that Sonic, more so Sonic Adventure 2, is my favorite game of all time. So Sonic X pretty much was based off of that game and kind of followed the storyline in that game, but obviously changed things for the TV show. But seeing all the characters like Shadow in it, Knuckles, Sonic, even things that weren't in the game, like I think Shadow fought Knuckles and like Shadow fought Tails and stuff like that. So
just fighting everybody.
Yeah,
just giving everybody the hands.
He says Dragon Ball Z would be number 3. I mean, do I even have to explain Dragon Ball Z? I feel like everyone gets that one.
My first one, I gotta go SpongeBob.
Hell yeah.
Even classic SpongeBob though, like that was the best.
Yes,
that
till the movie.
Good. Yes.
Once the movie's over, then it starts going downhill.
Yeah,
but that is just peak Bob. SpongeBob peak pants.
Peak Bob. That's definitely a PG-13 SpongeBob peeking inside those trousers. Yikes.
Hold on. They had an episode where they literally wwent into Mr. Krabs' mom's house and did a panty raid. And you're telling me that show could get more adult?
I think one of my favorite one is still where SpongeBob's the mom and Patrick's the working dad. That is still one of the funniest episodes to watch.
The deadbeat dad.
Yeah. I love it. It's like unveiling all the diapers. It's like underneath the couch and everything else too. I'm a terrible father.
If I was a mom, this would be disturbing. My second is Fairly Odd Parents. For the same exact reason.
Classic. But wait, before the Jimmy Neutron crossover or after the Jimmy Neutron crossover, was it still good for you?
I think it was good up until Poof. I think once the baby came in, it pulled a Rugrats, where the baby came in and just ruined it. There was also a dog that lasted like a season.
Yep.
And that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And then number 3, I got to jump over to Cartoon Network with Kids Next Door. Because I don't know many kids who didn't want to join the Kids Next Door when they were little.
What a great show.
Was my boy.
Yeah, number 4, I honestly 5 was always my chiz, man. I love that chick. She had so much incredible amount of sass. If not, number 3 was a close second, like definitely for sure. But number 5, oh my god, and the villains in that TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, they were so good. The Toilinator. His arc where he actually became like a super villain was the best. Teen Titans is up there as like number 1. You know, Mingo in chat definitely catches that because it nailed everything. It had great humor. If you're a fan of anime, you enjoyed the art style, the humor on top of that too. But the narratives were so serious. Like I could think of the Trigon arcs with Raven. They were some of my favorites. That was so good when Robin is going insane for fighting Slade and he beats the hell out of all the other Teen Titans. Nuts. Yeah, right? And then there's the one that still gets me to this day is when Beast Boy goes full beast mode. And like is nuts. I don't know if you guys remember that arc, but that was crazy. And Ed, Edd n Eddy is 100% a must.
Yep.
Watch from point A to point B. It is hilarious. It is full of great and crude humor. Man, did I learn my essence of being, trying to be a scam artist, through Eddie's antics. The TV show that has stuck with me for such a time, and I think I was like 10 years old when they first debuted the first episode, was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Fantastic. Like, I could go back further and say, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or anything else like that, but, like, yeah, those are great, and I watched those when I was a kid growing up, but, like, there's some that I could still watch as a child and still watch as an adult and love every single moment of it. Those are easily, like, top 3. One thing as a kid, right? The one thing that would always make you run right from your cereal bowl in the morning to running right to the living room for the television was a theme song. Is there a theme song from a cartoon that has stuck with you since your childhood?
All right, let's see if I can do all this. Yo, Dane fam, he was just 13 when his parents built a very strange machine designed to something a world unseen. He's got to catch them all because he's Danny Phantom. That song just absolutely slaps.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I love that show too. It's
Actually, I might go with that one. I might go Jimmy Neutron.
That's a solid theme. That's a solid theme.
Fantastic theme.
Yeah, I feel like a good theme has lyrics. Glass. Right through the stars, buying candy bars.
The knack for invention.
Hey, power mine, mechanical. Okay.
Rescues the day from sure destruction.
This is the theme song
of
Jimmy Neutron. There's some themes that stick out to me that don't necessarily even have lyrics. And I think the one that always got me to the TV screen, like without fail, the Powerpuff Girls. There should be no reason why that song smacked as much as it did. Because like you get into the what is it that makes you sit down above the age of 25 and watch these adult cartoons?
I would say South Park, I guess, for example. Maybe not a lot of the stuff that happens in South Park, but at least some of the themes or like whatever the episode's about. I don't know, like they have like COVID episodes, and that's stuff that you won't get from any other cartoon, I think, or show. Just like they talk about really up-to-date topics too, which they're really good at. Like if COVID, when COVID came out, they had like COVID special like within the year. So I think they're really good with like relatability wise and adding humor to it, outlandish humor, but I think they do a really good job kind of meshing those two fields together.
BoJack Horseman, because that's a show that talks about topics that, like, honestly, when I watched it, I didn't even feel it as much as when I like dealt with the situations after. But like when he deals with his mom dealing with memory issues, and she like goes back and it's like, reliving her life, and nobody understands what's happening to her, and then like you deal with people aging and their memory having problems, and you're like, I get it now. I get what that show was trying to say to me now. But I also like that there's risk in adult shows, because a kids show, everyone's going to be okay. There's a reset at the end. And then adult shows can really like, Homer Simpson cheats on his wife. Like they do some like, there's actually risk in the show.
My question would be to you is, do cartoon movies work for all cartoons? Could it work for all cartoons? If you think they work, what is your favorite cartoon movie?
I feel like it really is based on the show, because a show with a lot of like storylines that kind of have to get wrapped up, you don't want it rushed. So like Avatar, I would have been happy with the movie, because I feel like there's a lot that they could have just spent more time on. They just did it over episodes, and they still did it, but you could have just switched those together and do a movie. There are other shows where I think the movie isn't so much about ending the series as just doing something they couldn't do in the series. I'm sorry, I have to give it to SpongeBob.
Hey, it's solid. That's a solid answer, man.
It was the ending. The creator has said that was his big farewell. That movie really did feel like all of the characters at their peak. Mr. Krabs finally got his second restaurant right next to the first one.
God, and the quotes in that movie. I still, to this day, anytime I get anything in my eyes, my eyes, my eyes, bald, bald, bald.
Is there any double blowing bubble babies around here?
I don't know if it counts as a movie. I'll let you guys decide. But I always really liked the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. And I know
I'll count it.
I consider that a movie.
They broke it up into 3 parts.
Yeah, it was like multi-part, but they had where Timmy goes into Jimmy's world, then they had when Jimmy goes into Timmy's world, and then I think the third one's when they kind of like intertwine. But that I always thought was great. Timmy in Jimmy's world, he looks disgusting. Like he looks ugly as all hell in Jimmy's world.
He looks disgusting.
He looks like, it does not look good.
He looks bulbous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think his mouth is gonna open up like completely like this because there's no like hinge on his jaw at all.
It's disturbing, man. I always Hugh. Like I just love Hugh.
Yeah, Hugh deserves his own. He's probably one of the best cartoon dads. I mean, that could be a question. Who's the best cartoon dad? Hugh's up there. He's his top.
Take a father figure, because Hey Arnold's grandpa.
Yeah, Hey Arnold's grandpa, and also I would even give the grandpa from Rugrats too, because he was pretty good too. He was better than Stu, because Stu, that guy. My favorite is still the pudding, and he's mixing the pudding, and he's just like,
Dude, why are you making pudding at 3 a.m?
I lost control of my life. Ed, Edd n Eddy is the one that still sticks out to me as the best ending to a TV series ever. Because it wrapped up literally what was introduced to you in the first 5 episodes, Eddie's brother, and they glorified this man to be this big jack guy, good dude, went to school, the whole series. Yeah, it was the biggest lie in TV, like in cartoon, history. To get to that point of your brother is a piece of garbage. And every single one of the cul-de-sac kids followed you from the cul-de-sac all the way out here just to beat the hell out of the D brothers, right? That was their goal. To watch Eddie be spiked up against a trailer multiple times, getting his ass completely kicked by his brother, was such a earth-shattering revelation for the viewers, because you're like, this is so wrong. And to have the cul-de-sac kids then attack the brother, beat him up, it was full rap. I felt so whole as a person watching that, as a fan. It was one of the best TV movies ever.
Derek, do you know anything about the production behind Pokemon 2000s? So the director guy, and it's worth looking up, was he was just drunk and on drugs the entire time, because that's how he got his creative ideas. So he talks about it, he's like, yeah, it was the worst time of my life. I was just trying to meet deadlines, and I was just on all these drugs. It's a wild story, and the only Pokemon he created was Lugia.
Imagine being that drunk and just being like, these birds are over here. I'm gonna take these bird pieces. It's got a long neck, real round face. None of these other ones work. It shoots a beam of wind from its mouth. I still listen to the flute music that plays at the beginning, for the beginning of the movie. The flute that wakes up Lugia. It's still one of my favorite tones flute tones to listen to, because it's just so hypnotic. Maybe I am Lugia. There's a big brown Lugia.
You're the shiny Lugia.
There it is. Name an episode of a cartoon that has stuck with you for years to come.
I can't give another SpongeBob answer. I gotta think.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
A specific
how about this?
episode?
If you give a SpongeBob episode, I will give a SpongeBob episode. I have mine in my brain. I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. It's the one where SpongeBob gets the pie that is a bomb. It is the funniest freaking episode ever. It is the best ending to an episode. Be like, oh, you made this pie. And then he just trips and whoops. Boom.
That's one weird things. He just killed SpongeBob.
It's so funny, man. It is so much good humor. It's easily one of the best episodes.
They're not pies. They're bombs.
Is this homemade? No, this is made in a factory. A bomb factory.
This is
a bomb.
My pick for SpongeBob would be the chocolate episode.
That's what I was gonna say.
Chocolate.
I think it's from that episode where he answers the door and SpongeBob just goes, "Hey, how's it going?" How is it going? Just doesn't. He's no time for this. This is the episode I'm going with. Is Reggie from outside the Salty Spittoon?
Oh, welcome to the Salty Spittoon. Out there for you.
Hey, I was in that scrap. Yeah, I saw you running.
My favorite fish is still the I had a bowl of nails for breakfast. Yeah? You think that's tough? Without any milk. So is there any other episode to a TV show that sticks out to you that really is like a big draw to you?
I hate repeating things because we already mentioned it, but the episode in Teen Titans where he's seeing Slade and like in his mind. I don't know what it is about that episode. I think it's because, and this is what that show did really well, is it plays on like real fears that you would have. Like, clearly it's not an evil person and a magic dust that's, like they're making it a cool story.
Yeah.
But just that, having nightmares about somebody who scares you. That's what it's about.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The court episode with Fred Burger.
Oh my god, you said it. You said
Fred Burger. I had to go, poo-poo.
Seriously, I have no idea. We recorded that episode on a VHS when it aired, and I swear to God, me and my brother played that VHS like 100 times, and every time we laughed, we died to Fred Burger. It was so funny. I don't know, like as a kid, it was the funniest thing in the world. Off the top of my head, going back to Dragon Ball Z, pretty much any episode where there's like a big transformation. Super Saiyan 3, when Goku starts powering up Super Saiyan 3 and the reveal that he could go further beyond, and he powers up for like 10 minutes straight, and then you just see the pan up from his legs to his eyes, keep panning up, you see the hair, and then the full body shot of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That was like, holy shit, that insane.
Can I give a controversial view? Try to get maybe get the chat mad?
Mr. Popo a freak.
Oh, Mr. Popo shouldn't have existed. I'm not even gonna get into that.
Mr. Popo. Yeah, that's definitely like super blackface, like to the max. Like
it's like worse than Jinx from Pokemon.
Yeah.
They're definitely together.
Yes. Okay, I could ship that.
Kisame Iced asks, I don't know if this is a question has been asked, but has anyone seen Bulba?
I have. I remember that show. I loved that show when I was younger.
How? How did you like that show?
Because I guess you equate it to what's on TV now. World of Gumball. I don't know if this is going to offend anyone, but World of Gumball I think is terrible. I think that show is just awful. Awful.
I might be a little offended.
And I think that's like one of the shows you absolutely turn your brain off and just laugh at the stupid dumb stuff that they're doing on screen. I feel like that was the same with Bobobo, with his dumb long nose hair and like the other sidekick character that like always made these weird faces and his afro. I loved it as a kid. Growing up, everyone forgot about it for a good reason.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was ashamed to have an afro because of that. Because people were like, what are you going to go for anime boss and bo. Like, I had to be brown with an afro. What is the best marketing scheme cartoon? I.e. Transformers, TMNT, He-Man. Oh. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's a good question. Probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. You kind of threw that answer right in there. It's a testament to time. I mean, that TV show came out in the 80s. And you think about the live action remakes twice over, the puppet ones, and then you had the CGI ones, which the puppet ones were 10 times better than the CGI ones, absolutely. And then you have all the video games on top of that too. I feel like it's endless amount of traction for those guys because, I mean, you're a Ninja Turtle beating up ninjas.
What else you want?
Yeah, what else do you want? And then maybe you want to punch a rhino or a boar in the face. You could do that too.
Hey, we gotta stop these turtles.
Yeah.
Or a brain. Who never wanted to just punch a brain? Like,
yeah, screw crap.
Right in the stomach. Punch that brain right in the stomach.
Right.
I think what else has kind of lasted the test of time?
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah. Oh, definitely Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
That's longer than all the other ones that we just went ahead and listed, too. Because
That was from the
Scooby-Doo's been around for a while.
60s. I think that was the late 60s.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Scooby-Doo has had every crossover you can think of. I'm pretty sure it's been with your mom. Pretty sure it's literally been with your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been with my mom.
Right there going.
That solved one mystery.
Reggie, I'm reading again. I'm reading on your wife. Like Scoob, you can't be sleeping with my mom.
Come on, guys. Hey, come on. I'm kind of a dick, but I'm the leader. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's just Fred be like, I'm gonna set up another trap for your mom in the basement, and I have a love-shaped bed. Make sure she's there by 3 p.m. and distract her by making sandwiches with her father and children.
Ruh-roh.
I gotta mute my mic.
I can hear him laughing through the wall.
Like Scoob, you know the only thing that I love more than food is MILFs. Give me M-rated Scooby-Doo any day. I just want to say special thanks to all the people that came and tuned in. We are at 19 viewers. This is more than what we could ever go ahead and ask for, to have not only a community that is willing to participate in chat, but to go back and forth with us, allowing us to not only read your guys' opinions and what you guys think too, which is such a unique aspect to hosting a podcast on the Twitch sphere. So I just want to say special thank you to all the Ascended and the Sages and the viewers alike who came to this podcast, enjoy the conversations. I hope that you guys had a great time as much as we had a great time. It is always a blast to be able to hang out with you two. So special thank you to my two wonderful co-hosts above, Rob as well as Luke. But you can catch us consistently on the podcast uploads every single Wednesday on Spotify, and then there's also every Thursday that you will also find the highlights from every single recorded session that we have inside the studio. It was an utter pleasure to be able to have the time with you guys today. My name is Derek.
I'm Luke.
And I'm Rob.
And this was NPCs All. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Be well.
Bye, everyone.